Are you my husband's friend from middle school? I'm sorry, but I want you to leave. Immediately. That's how the bride greeted me, jaw tight, eyes cold, moments before my best friend's wedding. She thought I was an embarrassment. Uneducated. Poor. Unworthy of sharing the air in her elite ceremony. She dragged me from my past. She mocked my education. Then she tried to physically throw me out. What she didn't know. I wasn't there out of pity. I wasn't a +1 charity case. I was her fiancé's boss. The founder. The CEO. And I had receipts. If you've ever been dismissed, underestimated, or treated like you didn't belong, this one's for you. Tap that like button, subscribe for more true Reddit revenge stories, and settle in, because today the uneducated nobody holds the mic, and the power. I don't cry easily. Growing up in an orphanage makes sure of that. You learn early that tears don't get you dinner, and pity doesn't tuck you in at night. You learn to keep moving. But when a stranger in an immaculate suit grips your arm like a vice and says, "The bride wants a word, now," something old and ugly wakes up in your chest. That little voice that says, "Here we go. Get small. Survive it." It's the morning of my friend Lucas's wedding. We work at the same company. Correction, he works for my company. He doesn't tell people that, the man's humble to a fault. He just tells people we've been friends since school. Which is also true. I imagine the bride wants to say hello before the ceremony. A thank you, maybe. Lucas often tells me, "Your family, Jackson. I want you close." So I follow the relative into a side corridor, deep carpets, bright flowers, the clink of glassware echoing off beige walls. He shoves open a door. Inside, the bride stands by a mirror. She's luminous in that high-fashion way, every curl pinned, every detail curated. Angelic, if you didn't notice her mouth. Right now it's a hard line. "Congratulations," I say, offering a smile. "You look." Stop. She doesn't look at me. She looks through me. "Are you my husband's friend from middle school?" "High school," I say. "We were in the same." "I'm sorry," she cuts in, voice flat. "But I want you to leave. Immediately." I blink. "Leave?" A tiny, irritated click of her tongue, like I'm a fly buzzing near her champagne. This is why uneducated people are bothersome. You don't understand nuance. My hand finds the back of a chair to steady the little earthquake under my ribs. She keeps going. "My husband and I come from elite families. Today's guests are the same. It makes me uncomfortable to have a junior high, what did you say? High school, whatever, graduate among us. Please leave." I'd be lying if I said it didn't sting. I've heard it all before. Orphan. Nobody. Delivery boy. But it still stings. "I only want to congratulate Lucas," I say carefully. "If you'd prefer I don't stay for the reception, I'll leave after the ceremony. Let me offer a few words to him, and I'll be out of your way." She exchanges a glance with the suit who dragged me here. They laugh. Not softly. Not kindly. It bursts out of them like I just played a clown. Her hand covers her mouth, eyes glittering. The man's shoulders shake. "What's funny?" I ask. She tilts her head like a cat. "Do you really not understand? My husband invited you out of compassion." She savors the word. "He felt sorry for you." Sorry? For your background. She's not even trying to hide the disgust anymore. Abandoned by your parents. Orphanage. Malnourished. Still tall but thin, that's what he said. She waves high-gloss nails, bored. "He was going to let you eat at our wedding." A charitable moment for an old classmate. It lands like a slap. The room hums. Something in me folds in, bracing. "That's not how I begin." She talks over me. Frankly, his compassion raises his value. But you? Your presence lowers mine. Lucas is a graduate of a prestigious university. He works at a top firm with 9-figure revenue. Her gaze flicks down my suit, lingering like I'm wearing grease. You say you work at the same company? Janitorial? Security? You thought we wouldn't notice? My jaw tightens. It would be so easy to snap back, to throw the truth right then and there. I'm the founder. The majority shareholder. The guy who started with a bicycle and turned it into a public company. But that's not how I want this to go. Not on Lucas's wedding day. Please, I say. Let me congratulate my friend. Then I'll go. She sighs, victorious. Fine. Congratulate him by leaving. And while you're at it, cut ties. No more business. She makes the word dirty. I don't want you anywhere near his work. Bride's orders, the relative adds, stepping closer. He pats my chest, then grips. Too tight. His breath smells like mints and self-importance. You heard her. I step back. He steps forward. I reach for his wrist. He shoves me hard. My back hits the wall, breath yanks out of me. The door flies open, he pushes me through it. I stumble, hit the corridor floor. The door slams. For a second I just kneel there on the carpet, palms burning, heat crawling up my neck. I've survived worse. I always have. But anger? It tastes new. Electric. No. Not anger. Resolve. I stand, straighten my jacket, and walk out. I could leave. I could chalk this up to another person who thinks money equals worth. But it's Lucas's day. He's good. He's always been good. He shared his lunches with me when we were kids. He never once made me feel small. So I find a cafe across the street. I sit by the window. I watch the building across the way glow with the golden wash of pre-ceremony excitement. I wait. When the last of the late guests sweep in on a gust of perfume and whispers, I return. The reception is a chandeliered garden of white linens and polite laughter. Candles flicker. A string quartet melts into the background hum. I find my assigned seat, yes, I had a seat, and breathe out. I'm here to celebrate Lucas. That hasn't changed. Except the bride's gaze finds me like a sniper scope. Her smile freezes. She leans into the groom's ear. He follows her line of sight. That's when the same relative from earlier appears at my shoulder, his fingers clamp my forearm. Didn't you hear? He growls. Out. He pulls. I don't move. Hands land on him from behind, 2 guests at my table. Then a third. Hey, one of them says. He's a guest. Knock it off. Another wedges himself between us. The relative's face goes from red to white in a heartbeat. What are you doing? He demands, looking around, suddenly unsure. Eyes are turning. Heads tilt. The quartet falters. I stand, slow and deliberate, and reach past him to the nearest mic, the one parked for toasts. My heart thumps against my ribs in clean, steady strokes. Bride, I say, voice carrying through the hall. I'm sorry you told me to leave. But I was eager to attend Lucas's wedding, so I came. The room hushes like someone pressed mute. Lucas is at the head table, posture stiff, eyes narrowed in a way I've rarely seen. Go away, he says to the bride, quiet but dangerous. You said that? To Jackson? The bride's confident mask cracks, just a hairline fracture. Because, she stammers, voice thinned. That man says he only graduated from junior high. It would be a bad match for both of us to have that. Her hand flicks toward me like I'm a stain. I nod, keeping my voice level. I understand. I couldn't disappear, and for that I apologize. But to ease your mind, I'll cut off my business ties with Lucas, as you requested. There's a beat of perfect silence. Then I add, crisp as glass, And that means you're fired, Lucas. A gasp ripples through the room. Forks pause midair. The bride's head jerks toward me. What do you mean, fired? She demands, color flooding back. Lucas isn't looking at her. He's staring at me. What did you say? I said, I repeat, allowing myself a small, sad smile, you're fired. Because I'm the president of the company. The word lands like thunder. President. A few people laugh, too sharp, the sound people make when reality refuses to fit. It's not a boast. It's a fact. I let the room breathe. Then I give them the whole picture. I started with a bicycle, I say. At 16. People were spending more time at home, they needed things to come to them. I delivered. I hired. I scaled. 10 years later, we went public. A murmur. Head swiveled between me and Lucas. The bride's face has gone still, mask-like, eyes darting as if looking for a script. Lucas, I say softly, wasn't just a classmate. He was the kid who split his lunch in half and pretended he wasn't hungry. He was the teenager who took me to his house and told his mom I was a study buddy so I'd have somewhere warm to be. He told me, I'll study hard and help your company someday. And he did. I turned to the bride. Her chin is high again, like she's found her line. Well, she says loudly, if he's such a bum that he just got fired, I don't want him anymore. I quit this marriage. It's meaningless if my husband isn't elite. No high income? No me. The hall erupts. Not applause, outrage. Shock. Pity. I catch Lucas's face, something in him folding, something harder rising to take its place. The bride spreads her arms like a martyr. I'm the victim here, she declares. This is like a marriage scam. I demand compensation for the broken engagement. I step down from the mic and walk to her side. Close enough to smell the expensive hairspray. Close enough to see the crack in her eyeliner where her eyes went wet. My voice drops. You're the one who's going to pay alimony, I say. Her mouth opens. No sound. I lift my phone and nod toward the projector screen that someone, thank you, AV Angels, has already switched to auxiliary input. Earlier, I tell the room, a relative of the bride dragged me into the waiting room. When he grabbed me, I hit record. When he shoved me into the hall, my phone fell. And it kept recording. The lights dim. The screen blooms to life. There's the quiet of the waiting room. There's the bride, pacing. There's the suit, the same one who dragged me, closing the door. His hands are on her waist. Her hands are in his hair. They're laughing. It's not tender. It's hungry. It's careless. On her wedding day. In her waiting room. While the guests found their seats. Someone in the crowd whispers, oh my God. The relative in the video isn't a relative at all. He's older than he admits with the help of his barber, handsome in a curated way. We'd later learn he's a hustler, a hangaround who survives on charm and other people's money. The bride had been keeping him like an accessory. Lucas, gentle and trusting, was to be her ring and her alibi. The screen goes black. Lights rise. No one's eating anymore. The bride shakes her head. That's fake. That's not. Lucas's uncle stands. That man isn't family, he says, voice like gravel, fury barely bridled. Heads whirl toward the bride's side of the room. No one stands up for the man on the screen. Security, the venue manager says calmly from the doorway. The bride's eyes look everywhere and nowhere. She snaps to Lucas. Say something. Defend me. It's your voice, Lucas says, quiet as snowfall and twice as cold. Your dress. Your hands. That's you. Something in her breaks, but it breaks outward, not inward. She points at Lucas with a shaking, lacquered finger. Then good. I didn't want to marry a loser anyway. A silence drops that no quartet can fill. I return to the mic to be clear, I say, scanning the room. Lucas was told about this video before I made the announcement. He consented to its use. He wants the truth out. Lucas nods once, eyes on the tablecloth, jaw set. His mother's hand covers his. He doesn't flinch. In light of the bride's infidelity, I say, the engagement is voided under fault-based grounds. The venue's costs are on her. The deposits? Hers. The bills? Hers. I look at the bride. And the broken engagement fee, your demand, isn't just denied. It goes the other direction. She sputters, why you can't. I lift a hand. The law can. And so can public opinion. Her would-be relative has slipped out. No one stops him. The bride is suddenly, profoundly alone. Her parents aren't looking at her. Her friends are studying the floor. A bridesmaid surreptitiously steps left, then left again, until there's a polite gulf of space between them. I've seen real poverty. This isn't it. But there's a kind of poverty that money can't salve, the poverty of character revealed under pressure. It's loud and it's ugly and it makes you want to wash your hands. The bride sits. Not gracefully. She misses the chair edge and scrambles. No one helps her. She stares at the projector screen even though it's blank, pupils too wide. A minute ticks by. Another. Then, and I'm not proud of this, but I am human, some small, protective part of me exhales. Not because she's broken. Because Lucas won't be. The days that follow move fast. The venue invoices her. Her own family's attorney advises immediate settlement to avoid worse publicity. The numbers add up like staircase steps, 5 million yen to reimburse the wedding expenditures, 3 million for the fault-based broken engagement. 8 million total. Her relative disappears, so does his number. Friends evaporate. Work calls don't come. She rents a studio apartment with a flickering light in the hallway and a neighbor who smokes on the landing. She keeps the shades closed. She starts working 2 jobs. She has a lot of time to think about the price of a lie. Lucas? You'd think he'd crumble. He doesn't. He grieves the idea of what he thought he had, sure. But after that? He gets quiet. He gets steady. He focuses on work. On truth. On himself. We sit on a bench outside the office one evening, the city turning gold around us, and he says, I always wanted to be married. You will be, I tell him. To someone who looks at you and sees, you. He huffs a tired laugh. You sounded like an older brother just now. I'm 3 months older, I say. Respect your elders. We both laugh, and it feels clean. Company-wise? The incident becomes a legend, not the scandal, but the stand. People love a story with a spine. Applications triple. We hire carefully. We grow. We stay weirdly humble, no motivational posters, just a quiet, ruthless insistence on doing the right thing the first time. As for me, the uneducated founder, I buy myself a new bicycle. Not because I need it. Because it reminds me where I began. Because it reminds me what matters. The next month, I get a text from Lucas, matchmaking party? I'm going to try being brave again. I send a thumbs up. Then a second text, I'm coming with you. Someone has to screen them this time. He replies with the laughing emoji, then, deal. Let me tell you something I learned that day, elitism is the cheapest costume money can buy. It tears at the first real strain. Character doesn't. When someone tries to reduce you to your worst day, remember, you're the only one who knows how hard your best days were to build. That's your equity. That's your leverage. That's your revenge, living well, choosing better, and holding the line when it counts. And sometimes? Revenge is just telling the truth, on a very big screen. Bride publicly humiliates Jackson. Jackson reveals he's the CEO and fires Lucas with Lucas's prior consent to set up the reveal. screens the waiting room video of the bride's infidelity, captured after her thug assaulted him and the phone kept recording. Hall turns on the bride, her claim for compensation flips, she pays wedding reimbursement plus fault-based broken engagement fee. Her relative isn't family at all, he vanishes. She ends up alone with debt in a shabby apartment. Lucas is free, supported, and chooses dignity. Jackson's company surges as the truth spreads. Respect isn't earned by diplomas or centerpieces, it's earned by how you treat people when no one's watching. The bride gambled on status. Jackson bet on character. Only one of those has compounding returns. If this gave you that sweet justice shiver, smash like, subscribe for more true Reddit revengeful tales, and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying public karma you've ever witnessed? I read everything, and your story might be next.